Alright, had our carburetor sitting in our carb cleaner here for about 24 hours, maybe not quite, so let's pop it open and see what we got. Trying to do this with one hand, I should be able to do it. We're all going to be looking at this together. There we go, that wasn't too tough. Looks pretty good. Matter of fact, it looks real good. It looks like it took all the tarnish off of the brass pieces. Alright, I'm going to stick it in here and then wash it around with some lacquer thinner and a brush, and then we'll see what it looks like. Alright, that cleaned up pretty good. I'm real happy with that. I'm surprised. Not only am I happy, I'm surprised. Like I say, the seat in there is good. And this is worn. You know, I could probably put it in there and it would work, but since I have the wooded parts anyway, and this is a pretty cheap part. You know, I'm talking like $6 or something, so I think I'll get a new one of them. Matter of fact, I gotta get a new one of these, and I think it actually comes in a kit. You know, this and this piece here, and they give you a spring. Although I'm going to use the original spring because that's the tension on that's pretty critical as to how this thing runs. So, and on the gas thing, I could actually use this, and I could actually use this and the check valve and everything, because here's the check ball, the original check ball, which is all out of whack and different. You know, it's not even round anymore. But I did have a couple of, actually 100 of ball bearings, stainless steel ball bearings, and if I put that in there, that'll work. And then all I would have to do is wrap a screen around it. But I think I might get this. I think it's like $18 for the check valve and stuff like that, and $21 if you get the whole tube, the whole pipe. So we'll see. We'll like I said, I could use this, reuse all this stuff, and just get this and that. So. Alright, let me put it back together. I'm going to put this back together and just keep the bottom loose so when the part comes, I can put it together. Alright, so I'm happy with that. I was worried about that. I thought for sure I was going to have to buy another carburetor, but I cleaned up nice, and it's only going to need a couple cheap parts. So alright, we'll put that out of the way, and we'll start working on something else. Alright, and I'll leave a link in the description for this, because I know somebody's going to ask me about that again. So, alright, let's get some other parts. Alright, I think I'm going to work on this and disassemble this and clean this up and maybe restuff the capacitor there. I did clean up a little bit. Here's the block. The block cleaned up nice. So, and the crank is beautiful, unbelievable. The condition that it is in. It's 90 years old and it looks like it was made yesterday. Okay, so let me throw you guys up on a tripod and we'll get to work on this thing. That should be fun. Alright, not much to these. First I want to take this wire off here. I'm still deciding whether to use that or not, because that's in good shape and it's original. And I kind of like it because it's cloth covered. And then rubberized. So let's just take that off. Get a small screwdriver there. There we go. I think I'm going to have to pick up another boot. This here is this one here is in pretty bad shape. I should just pull it out of there. There we go. Huh. That's cool. Alright, now you lay it down without worrying about breaking her in like that. Okay. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this over to the device to hold it in place. These are soldered on, these wires, and the covering on this is very brittle, and I don't want to break that because that's going to the coil. Here's one that I'm going to have to replace, but you can see how brittle it is. You just bend it a little bit and it cracks. But I'm going to replace this. This was no problem because of the points. So let me get a soldering iron and see if I can take it off without damaging it. Alright, I desoldered that, and let me move the points here. Okay, I'm going to take one screw out at a time, and by looking at the position of the screw I could tell if it was adjusted right or close to. And this one was probably out of a little adjustment. You can't see it, but this hole should have been closer to the center of that. Let me check the other one. I'll explain that more. See, I'm holding these in place so I can see where it was at. Oh, that moves, so I can't show you that. So, alright, let's see if I can get this out without moving that wire. Alright, there you go. Okay, we'll clean them points up real good. Now, get this out of the way. I think it's these two screws here hold it in. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Oh man. That must not have been taken out in a while. Oh man, oh man. Whew. Probably should have cleaned the back off a little bit because you can see the back end of these screws over here. Probably should have hit that with a wire brush. In fact, since you're there, I think I might do it right now. I doubt if that helped, but makes me think I did something. Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Oh man, oh man. Don't have to worry about that falling out, huh? Okay. Looks like the coil might have leaked a little bit, but I guess that's routine for something that old. I mean, it still worked. I don't see any damage to it, so we want to save that. These are pretty expensive. Matter of fact, that costs as much as the whole engine does. So I might put that somewhere. Like I said, I don't want to. I put it over there out of the way. Sorry about that. I don't want to mess this wire up here because, like I say, if you see how brittle this wire is, you know, you just touch it wrong and it cracks. Look at that, it just disintegrates. And I don't want to mess with a good coil. All right. This here's all buggered up. This looks like somebody had this off for. Oh man! Let me get a bigger screwdriver for that. Okay. Let's take the capacitor off here. Okay. Now let me get a big screwdriver and get that off of there. Alright. I had to put that in the vise to hold that. That was on there pretty tight. And then I had to use a wrench on the screwdriver. Looks like somebody else might have had trouble one time too because the screw was pretty buggered up. but we'll be able to clean it up. This is pretty interesting. Let me show you this. This here goes around the shaft, and remember I told you that Maytags don't have any seals. What this is this just an oil catch, you know? Oil drips into this and drips out, you know, outside the engine. And it obviously works pretty good because the inside of this is virtually spotless, you know, there's really no oil in here at all. Pretty clever. Just a oil diverter. Old Fred Maytag knew what he was doing. See, there's your little snoot there, your little snorkel. Okay, we'll clean all that up. Okay. Alright, so this is all disassembled. Now I'll just take this, I'll throw this in the 5-gallon bucket of gasoline back there and let it soak in here, and we'll be able to clean this up real nice. Alright, let's put that in the bucket and then we'll mess with the capacitor. That'll be fun. Alright, I'm going to get some lacquer thinner and clean this up, and then maybe hit it on the wire wheel and get it nice and shiny and clean so we can solder to it. What we're going to do is we're actually going to cut this thing open and put one of these in there. These are both the same. These are 0.22 microfarad capacitors. This one's rated at 630 volt and this one's rated at 400. And both of them will work good. I think the original is only rated at 200, so, and both of these will fit in there. But I think I might go with this one just for fun. Alright, let me clean that bitch up. Alright, like I said, this isn't something you have to do. I mean, you could just insulate one side of this and ground out the other, and that'll be fine. But anybody that restores old radios, they'll tell you, you know, that's sort of what the hobby does. You know, they restuff these so everything looks original. Even though no one sees inside a radio, you know, they restuff these, so it's pretty interesting, fun to do. So there's two ways. I was looking at this. There's two ways we could have done this. We could have desoldered this and taken this clip off, and then just cut this in the middle. That way, when you put it together and you put that back on, you never would have seen it. Oh, let me move over here. Sorry about that. And but this one here, I don't know if you can see it, but this has like 4 little dimples. And what happened is they put this together and then rounded the edge off here. So when they put that in there and rounded the edge off, that sort of held it in place. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to cut this rounded edge off, because you'll never see it, and then just pull the guts out that way. So, alright, let me get my Dremel and we'll cut that little rolled edge off. Alright, like I said, I cut that lip off with a Dremel. I use one of these. I wish I could give you guys a link to get these, but I can't. This thing is great. They're carbide Dremel tools. I don't even know where you could find them. Matter of fact, these, I paid 20 bucks for these. It's like $1 a piece. But like I said, they're carbide, and I bought them off some flea bag friend of mine at one of the shows. And I love these things, but I can't give you a link to them. Sorry about that. But anyway, I mean, it just cut right around there with no problem. So now we'll see if we can get this open. Oh, there we go. There should be like a little fiber washer there, so I shouldn't be holding it that tight. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Alright. This will be a positive end. So all I have to do is solder one end to here and the other end to here. But we got to get this garbage out of here. And instead of digging it out, I think I'll just get a drill. Matter of fact, this feels like it's almost going to pull out. Well, anyway, we're going to mess with that and hope it ain't too toxic. Alright, let me pull that out of there. The whole thing just came out. Came out one piece. Oh, nice and clean in here too. Okay. Yeah, this here's just cardboard and some kind of aluminum and some kind of toxic stuff all wrapped up in one. That makes your that's plastic there. That's what makes up your capacitor. So, alright, we'll clean this up a little bit and we'll continue going. Alright, I soldered the top half on here, and I soldered it as close as I could so that it has no chance of touching the sides there and grounding out. Now what I did is, I don't know how well you can see this, but I made a little hole in the side here. What I'm going to do is send this through there and then send the wire from the inside to the out, and then we'll solder that. Okay, but now's a good time to check to make sure we didn't damage the capacitor here. You guys are looking at that upside down, but I'm looking at it right side up here. Alright, we still got 0.22, 0.21. Okay, so that's what we want. Alright. And I'll leave a link in the description for these meters. Last time I did that, a lot of you guys told me you ordered them, so it's good. They're good to have around. Capacitor meters. Okay. Let me wire that or put that through the little hole there and solder it. Don't go away. Just made a little bend in the wire here, just so I can look in there, and I'm gonna make sure you guys are still in frame. There we go. See, that wasn't that tough. See, now I'll just bend it and ease it through there. And it doesn't matter if that grounds out inside there now. I just want to pull it through and center everything up. There you go. What's actually just happened now is it's going past where that is, and it's going to start pulling it back through. I think I need to get a better screwdriver so I can push that in. Okay, let me set that in there. Alright, now the last thing we're going to do is, oh yeah, I didn't show you the bottom here. I soldered it, made a little hole, and soldered it on there so you don't even see that from the outside. And now, all you got to do is, I use super glue. And I'm going to glue the top back on here. I use this gel stuff. I like it. You could hot glue this or oxy it or do what you want, but you just want to put this back in there. Okay. And then after this all sets up, it's setting up already. Then you will test it again, and we'll be good to go. Alright. Alright. This video is probably getting pretty long, so we say we just give this one final check, see if it works, and then we'll get out of here. Oh, let me move this over here into the screen. There we go. 0.21, so that's actually 0.22 because we know my meter's off by a hundredth, I think. Alrighty. Alright, enough of this.